So prior to the course, my relationship with cooking was just pretty minimal. I feel like in my house, it's kind of a weird cooking dynamic, like with my family, because my mom eats like a really specific way. My dad and siblings ate a really specific way, and then I kind of ate like a third way even.
Mm,
So I was a pescatarian for like 12 years. So I made like really simple stuff, just some like salmon, rice, and like vegetables, but never that good. And yeah, I would say that I kind of just got by that way for a while and it didn't bother me too much. And kind of just recently, I think like the issue is that I love good food, like really good food. And so there was just this gap in like the kind of food that I want to eat versus the skills that were there.
mm,
It's not like my mom was like a bad cook or anything, but I definitely didn't come from like a house with really inspiring food or creativity. Um, Even from like a cultural background, I personally feel very like generic American, and I even noticed the past few years, I just feel like I have so many friends who like their parents are immigrants and they have like a really strong cultural tie to food that I don't feel like I've had. Um, and if I had anything, like my mom is Mexican, but the type of food that she made, I feel like Mexican food is so diverse and there can be such like bright ingredients, but it would just be kind of like sad enchiladas and like I just like, very carby or like bean and cheese. Nothing like too vibrant.
mm.
So it's like, yeah, I feel like there wasn't that cultural connection for me. And then I just like basically never learned. And the little things I did on my own, um, yeah, I just didn't really go too much further than like very basic cooking. So I would cook something and I would honestly never feel like it was very worth it. Like, and then if I would go to a restaurant, or I just think that's the thing is I can appreciate really good food and really good ingredients, but I felt just like a lot of insecurity. Like, yeah, I do feel like I'm a creative person in the rest of my life, but I think with food, I don't know why these things are, but I just had like no trust in myself to be creative. Making the time and like the cost was the only thing that I didn't sign up like immediately. And then I actually did tell one of my friends about it. And I remember telling her, like, "Ugh, I don't know, it's like kind of a lot for me right now, though." And she's like, "Wow, it sounds exactly like what you were saying, though." And I'm like, "You're right, I should do it." So, yeah, I would say it definitely spoke to me. I assume there's no other class like this. Maybe somebody far away is doing it, but um yeah, I definitely think there's probably so many classes out there and I don't know if a lot of people feel like me, but like I know that I did need this type of course. Um I've I was remembering in the last session, I was talking about how I don't think I've like really talked about these things with people, like the anxiety I have and stuff.
Mm,
And it's not like I've kept it a secret or like never said it, but it's more like I think a lot of people have related to me. It was the first time I was around people who were actually like in a similar um spot with cooking and wanting to get better in other areas of my life. I like know you need good tools for stuff, and that makes like a world of a difference. I don't know why when it came to using like really dull knives, I was like, this is a me problem. Like I could be cutting this better.
mm,
So I think actually like getting a really good knife And yeah, even like the cutting board that I've been using, like I made that and I feel like for some reason getting my knife and having my cutting board, I was just like felt more connected to it when, I have not felt connected to cooking. I can do this. That's like more how it feels to me. Like there was a big like mental hurdle, and then now I can actually like try more. I feel like when it comes down to it, I also just benefit a lot from like the accountability of the class. I would say that in trying to get past like this block of cooking, because I'm kind of just like doing my own thing all the time, it's easy to just like never try like to cook more or just get away with how I've been doing. And even if I have this like desire, I think that actually meeting with a group of people at the same time every week, which like honestly is sometimes hard just with like schedules and whatever, but actually making it work, it's like realistically, I would not have done that if I set out on myself like as a goal. Maybe other people are more like, proactive, but if I told myself like once a week, I'm gonna make a different thing and practice a different thing, I'm sure I would not have done it like consistently. I probably would have done it like once and then not. So
Yeah.
for me, like I definitely needed that part. I would just notice ways I was thinking was like a little more creative or getting excited about ingredients. Like even today, we have bees in like an avocado orchard in Somis, and the lady that runs it, we went there today and she gave us like a bunch of avocados and eggs, and I feel like I really value these ingredients, but before I almost felt like not worthy or something because I
Uh,
like didn't know how to like honor them. And so I just think that's the biggest thing for me is just whatever like unnecessary anxiety that I had with cooking or like a weird mental block. It's like a little broken through or a lot broken through, I think. I think that has been a nice part of just like simple but nice stuff of like sharing food with my mom. She's such a nurturing, like classic mom. Like sometimes, I mean, anyone in her path, she's like such a mom. And so I do think it's nice to like take care of somebody in that way. Like sharing food is very like taking care, and it's nice to actually feel like I'm doing that to the ultimate caretaker. As far as, yeah, creativity, I would have never been like, oh, that looks good at the market. I wonder like what I could make from it. So yeah, definitely creativity is a big takeaway because I felt like I was at a zero with creativity and just like trust in myself to do something like that.
mm,
I think, yeah, I don't know what that was about, but I was just had such anxiety about it.
mm,
This was just really nice support from you and the other people in the class. Even going back to how scared and untrusting I was of myself to make decisions, I think that the fact that you do make it a point to kind of build that confidence, especially with cooking. I'm sure there's like, there's so much technical information you could learn. And if I mean, it's really overwhelming if you feel like you don't know very much about cooking. Like all that there is to learn is like a lot. So
mm,
I feel like to actually be able to just like not have the mindset of I need to do everything a certain way and there's room for error, um, is like gonna give better results anyways. And I feel like you're really good about like always bringing us like back to that